Hello everyone, Caren Glasser here, and welcome to the premiere episode of the Super Boomer Lifestyle Book Club. I welcome guests from all across the globe who share how they are maneuvering through a world that worships youth and shames the beautiful process of aging. Today, our very first book is I'm Not Beautiful Like You, I'm Beautiful Like Me. We have the author and a lot of the participants that are joining us today live. So if you're here live, great. Make a comment down below. Say you're here live. If you're here replay, just as great. Make a comment down below and say you're here on replay. And of course, share, 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 share. We love it when you share. So a little bit about the author of this book, Carol Lovell Calvert. It's a silver companion book, which was created by her. It asks 25 questions of the readers around their journey to self-love. I'm Not Beautiful Like You, I'm Beautiful Like Me includes selfies of 29 silver women who are living full out and setting their silver linings free. It was created for evolving women turning on their silver linings. These questions are catalysts for change and transformation to their essence, their silver attitude, and to being younger at 50, 60, 70, and beyond. It's not just for women midlife and up. This book of questions will bring you and your friends to a celebration of life after midlife. So without further ado, I'm going to bring our host, our guest, our author into the show. Carol, welcome.
Thank you.
I am so glad
you're
here. I'm so glad you're here, Carol. You have brought together an amazing group of women, amazing group of silver sisters. I really wanted to do this for obvious reasons because I'm a silver sister as well. And when you see the women that participated in this, Carol, you just did an amazing job getting all of these women to go out and take selfies of themselves. And we're going to be popping them into the show today to talk about the question that they answered, right? And also the picture that they showed in the book. But before we do that, I like to always ask this question, and I'm going to answer it first, and then I'll bring it on to you. How do you describe a super boomer? Because after all, the show is for super boomers. I say that super boomers are not defined by their age. They're defined by how they show up in life. They're fearless with a just watch me attitude. That's how I describe it. Carol, how do you describe a super boomer?
And I would say a super boomer is a conscious, creative, awake silver, looking for silver linings.
Great answer. And of course, apropos to what we're talking about today. So we're going to jump into the conversation. If you're just tuning in, we are talking to the amazing silver sisters of this beautiful book that we're going to be talking about today. So tune in, make sure if you have any questions, put them in the comments because we will put them right up on the screen. In fact, let me just put some of them up right now. Hello, lovelies live. That's from Sugar. And we've got Sandy Cooper on as well. She's here live as well. Thank you for joining us. So let's just talk about the book first. Why did you do this? Why did you create this book of silver?
Caren, I was in the throes of working with women midlife and up already, concentrating on their silvers. And I saw two pieces of research. The first one was the Pond Soap research years ago. Two things about it. Only 4% of women believe that they're beautiful. And of all the women in this survey, 85% believed other women were beautiful. And I said, oh my gosh, we have some work to do.
Yes.
And then the second piece of research was from a healthcare company, in fact, out of Seattle, researching over a 23-year period, women 40 to 65, and their lack of health and well-being. Mm-hmm. And they didn't even add into this piece menopause. What they saw was loss.
Yeah.
Loss of family, be it a partner, a parent, a child, a job, a home, that these women at this age and beyond were moving through these losses, and they were stacking up on them and causing ill health. So I was able at that moment in time, you get these ahas. So I have spent 25 years in energy medicine. So I was able to marry the two, doing the work with the silvers and then also my background. And so this book, The 25 Questions, the subtitle is 25 Questions to Turning on Your Silver Linings. And it is not too much different than if I were sitting one-on-one with someone and going through a 4-point question about moving them into their silvers, moving them into their possibility thinking. So that's how it happened.
I put the covers up, and you can see on the beautiful cover on the, I think it's on your left-hand side. I'm not sure if we're reversed or not. I'm not beautiful like you. I am beautiful like me. And then we've got on the other side, the Silver Companion book, 25 questions, as you said, to bring your silver linings and younger at 50, 60, 70, and beyond. I love this. I mean, I am personally 60 years old. 60 years. I made myself younger.
You don't look like that.
I'm personally 63 years old. And for me, it's just a number. It's just an attitude. And so I just think it's beautiful that we have so many beautiful women that are joining us here today to talk about their part in this book. So
I'm thrilled.
Yeah, I'm this was a labor of love. I'll be honest. We have somebody coming in from France. We have people from all across the United States. So this is very cool that we were able to gather everybody at one time on this show. So the first thing that I'm gonna bring in our first, we call them an influencer. This is Susan Esco. She is from the United States. She is the founder. I'm gonna go here over here. Founder of the Die Free to Be Me.
I can't hear you.
And hold on a second. I'm gonna go ahead and put this. Die Free to Be Me. I'm gonna put her on the screen right now so that she can come and join us. Susan, here you come. And she's in. How are you doing, Susan?
Hello, ladies. I'm doing great. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Well, I'm delighted that you're here as well. And I want to put your page in the book up so that people can see what your question was first. It was, what qualities have you gained from being a part of the silver movement and perhaps reinventing yourself? So what's your answer to that?
Well, I started this process 6 years ago. I cut my hair off from this length all the way to a pixie and just released all the history that was attached to that hair and said, I'm ready for a new start. And it's like a transformation. It's like a butterfly in a chrysalis, So during that 3-year time when I was growing it back out to this length, it was very, very humbling. I learned how to love myself. That's like the biggest thing that I can say happened. So,
and it's interesting you say that. When I was telling you all before we went live, I grew my hair out on camera. Literally grew my hair out on camera, and from dark black to this color, and it was freeing. It was liberating for me. It took a while to get to the liberating part. Clearly,
right.
Very vulnerable at that point. I remember thinking that I was invisible. I went to Las Vegas and I felt like I couldn't be who I had always been before. The woman who walked out with a mini skirt and the high heel shoes and, doing my thing. And all of a sudden I was this old lady with white hair. And it was coming out of that, but it was the best thing I ever did. What about you? Is it the best thing you ever did?
Oh, yeah. By far, it's pretty much changed my life course. It's created.
Tell us about that. You've got a true story here,
right?
Yeah.
So I was what was I, like 4.5 years post grow out. I was so empowered, and I just wanted to shout from the rooftops, ladies, love yourself. It's so much easier just to not beat yourself up every time you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, my roots. So I thought, well, what's the best way to get my message of self-love out but to get smeared across the media? I want to be on billboards, magazines, and commercials, and I just wanted to be a role model just to show everyone you can be silver and sexy. I mean, I'm working this. I'm 50. I feel fabulous. I've never felt this good in my life. So I decided to be a model, and I'm in the middle of that transformation right now. And I love that picture that Carol used of me, because it shows me on set, and you can kind of just see that I'm embracing this new role of being.
You've got that attitude going, Susan. I just look at that face. It's like, don't you even think about it.
Right, exactly.
So for me, meeting Susan a few years ago, I mean, it was amazing. And to watch this progress, which has been a gift for me with these women, to watch them move into their silver linings. Susan's background as a speech pathologist, who, I mean, look at the integrity and the awesomeness and the giving of that. And now in your transition, you can take that with you, and it becomes working with silver women. And I watch it with you. The other day, she called me or messaged me, and she said, it was a weekend, and she said, I'm going thrifting. I have an appointment to thrift. Let's do live, and you and I, and FaceTime, and you might see something, and I'll send it to you. I mean, is that not just the most incredible silver sister thing to do?
Right.
Yeah, this community is just amazing. I feel so empowered to have my sisters walk on this journey beside me.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful, Susan. It is beautiful. I want to make sure that everyone sees on the screen, we have Susan's website, susanescosilvermodel.com. Make sure you go check that out. Susan, I want to thank you for joining us. I really appreciate your story, and I'm laughing at all of us who have our silver hair, and listening to all of our non-silver haired women friends who are in their house. They're growing it out. Yeah, they're growing it out, not on purpose, but because they have no other choice. And I think it's going to change the way we all kind of look at each other. I think it's actually a good thing, not a bad thing. So I'm going to take you down into the green room. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to drop you down, and we're going to go to the next one. Absolutely. All right. So up next, we have Caroline, and I'm going to bring Caroline into the stream before I introduce her to make sure that we are good here. So Caroline's coming in, and Caroline, there she is. Caroline, she's beautiful. Caroline is absolutely beautiful. Caroline comes from France. She actually hails from France, and she is the founder of and the creator of 50 Years a Woman. And she's a silver influencer with an Instagram of over 25,000 followers. She also has a pretty wild Facebook presence. And we're just happy that you're here. And I want to pop up your question. Give me a second to find it. It's here somewhere. Okay. I know that.
Nice to be here with you from Paris.
Yes.
I'm so glad.
And I'm so glad that you were able to get on. I know yesterday we were playing technology, right?
Yeah.
To get you in and out. And here you are. You are here. Just gorgeous. That color purple is beautiful. Your question, here's the page in the book. I'm not beautiful like you. I'm beautiful like me. So what is your definition of beauty? How do you describe beauty?
Actually, it's I think it's more a question of attitude, that a pure beauty of a face, of a body. It's really an attitude that a woman should have when she come, when she speak, when she dance, when she go outside, when she eat. It's just something, you see something in her eyes which makes you say, wow, just wow, she's beautiful. Not only outside, but inside. There is something going out from inner side.
So tell me a little bit about your experience of going silver gray. Did you just decide one day, or
no? I didn't decide. The nature decide, because almost 2 years and a half before, I lost a lot of my hair. I was blonde with long hair, and I lost a lot of my hair, and I just say, wow, what will happen? So what should I do? And I say, okay, I will leave the nature. I will leave my silver hair. And before I was just again silver hair. I just ate. I just say to my mother, just go to the hairdresser, do your color. I don't like it. And now, see, after almost 2 years, I just feel free. This is the freedom, you know. I'm 60 years old. I was 60 years old in April, just during the lockdown in France. And I just say, we are free. I'm a free woman, and it's very, very important.
Very powerful too.
You know,
Carol, how did you meet Caroline?
I'm sorry?
How did you meet Caroline?
I was on Instagram and I saw this most incredible, beautiful woman in red, and she was on Facebook. And I said, "Can I put this on Facebook?" Sure, but it's on Facebook. So whenever I found it, introduced myself, and I'm totally amazed, not just about Caroline's beauty inside and out, but when you call her an influencer, this is coming from every cell of her being. Every day, she is doing something, writing, doing photos, introducing products or ways of being for women to get their zen on. And she is kindly unapologetic about it. Go for it, girls. I mean, how could you not love that?
Exactly. How could you not love that? That's just exactly.
That is very nice.
One last thing I've got to say. Caroline is an instigator quietly. That's my interpretation. The movement that is around body positive and having events, photographing women in lingerie or bathing suits of all ages, all looks, all styles, all shapes. She's right in the middle. And there's an incredible photo in the book of her out in the front of one of these happening in Paris.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not love that? This woman is really a silver influencer. Really. I'm in awe of her. I can't wait to meet her in person.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too. When are you coming to the States?
I don't know. You have to invite me.
Good idea.
It would be a great idea. I want to thank you, and I want to make sure that everyone sees your website up here. We have 50yearsofawoman.com. That's how they can go check you out.
Yeah.
And we have people that are on right now. If you have any comments, any questions, make sure that you put it into the chat, because we'll put your questions right up on the screen and we'll answer them as we can. Caroline, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to drop you down into the green room.
Okay, Caren. Thank you to receive me, and see you later. Bye-bye.
See you later. All right. All right.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You guys are just amazing. I'm kind of jealous that I wasn't in the book. I'm just saying that. Okay? Just saying.
Maybe book 2.
All right. Our next influencer that we're going to put in is Debbie Corley. And Debbie's awesome. We just recently became Facebook friends, which means everything, right? Debbie Corley is from the U.S. She's the president, owner, and founder at Tulips, and she's also the owner and founder at Shop Embrace. And we're going to bring her into the show, and then we're going to actually put her image up so that you have a chance. Actually, what a beautiful lady you are, Debbie. Well, let me take your off mute. Okay. I'm going to bring your book, your image up, because I want the car. I'm just saying that. I just want this car. Is this your car? Debbie, is this your car? I don't think she can hear me. Debbie, can you hear us?
Debbie, can you hear us?
I don't think so. So I'm going to drop Debbie down, and we're going to try to get Debbie back on, okay? Because she can't hear us and she can't. So I'm going to drop her down. But let's talk a little bit about the card. Or you know what? Let's leave her in, but she can't talk. So the question that Debbie had was, in the Pond soap study a few years ago, the findings concluded that only 4% of women believe that they are beautiful. And so she was asked, Debbie was asked, are they beautiful? Are you beautiful? And why or why not? And I'm not sure what her answer was because she can't hear
I
it.
have it. Debbie,
Okay.
can you talk?
No, I don't think she can hear it.
Okay, give me just a minute because she wrote me her answer and it made tears come to my eyes last night. Debbie is incredible. She is one of these silver influencers that her life story she brings out there, and it's right alongside the silver linings. And she teaches in every post that she makes about silver linings. But her question is, I have a quick response for the question. My perception of beauty was given to me by my father at a very young age. I was told by him that I was not beautiful, but he told me I had a very nice personality and I was very kind. I grew up feeling beautiful from the inside. Today, I feel beautiful is a state of mind and knowing you have taken the best care of yourself mentally and physically. You can break any mold someone puts you in. It's up to you. Beautiful to me is the whole package.
I love that.
Look at her. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful. And how many of us have experienced that before, being told that? I mean, I think, I know I have. And I can only imagine that a lot of people out there, a lot of women out there have also. I'm going to put a comment up here because unfortunately we can't hear Debbie.
Hi.
Oh, now she's here. Okay, awesome. Okay, this is awesome. I'm going to hide this thing here. So Debbie, you're live with us. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you can talk. Tell us a little bit about your journey, your silver hair journey. Did you just go silver? Can you hear us? Okay, we're definitely having some challenges right now. So I'm going to drop Debbie out and hopefully we'll be able to get her microphone working so that she can talk. All right, we're going to put her out and put the stream out. Our next influencer that I'm bringing up is the very beautiful Cindy Lynch. And I'm going to put her up here, Lippert, into the stream as I talk about her. Hey, Cindy, how you doing?
Great. Thank you for having me.
I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm putting your image up here, but let's talk just a little bit about you so that everyone knows who you are. You're from the United States. You're an actor, a commercial model. You're beautiful. I just have. You're just absolutely beautiful. You're a working model, and I'm just pleased that you were able to join us today. And we have your image up here. You were asked the question. There are so many accounts of transitioning to the silver locks. How did you transition to your silver locks?
Well, I was 59 years old. I was burned out as a senior minister of a large church, and I fell down a flight of stairs, broke my hip, and I thought, I'm 59, I'm too young for this. And here I was on a walker for 8 weeks. My husband and I bought a business and moved to Arizona, so a lot of changes. Went through a lot of super boomer changes. My son went through a terrible divorce. I was lost. Well, my husband came home one day and he said, how would you like to take an acting class? And I said, okay, but I can't memorize anything. So he said, we'll do improv. So that started down a rabbit hole. Well, I met a gal who said, you know, Cindy, the women in the film industry that get the most work in your demographic, by then I was 65, something like that, have silver hair. And I said, that's it. So I chopped it off into a pixie, grew it out. You see the before and after. And literally those two pictures are a year apart. And what happened is it launched a film career for me. Yeah. And modeling, I know everybody's fascinated with modeling, but models very rapidly learn the craft of acting to really get the work. But why all that is important is you go through these life changes. I'm 70 now, and I feel freer. Thank you. Well, you know, the thing that has been mentioned already, finding our freedom. It's not that dyeing your hair is wrong, but why are you dyeing your hair?
Right.
And we know that shame is associated with our roots showing. We're covering something.
Yep.
And shame is something that is done to you. Guilt is something you take on for yourself, but shame is something that happened to you at a young age. So I was also told, well, you don't have good looks, work on your personality.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, you're gorgeous.
Thank
I
you.
don't know whoever would have said that to you. You
My mother.
Your mother, oy
Yeah.
vey.
Yeah. You know,
We
if it's
all
not
have
one
that
thing,
kind of
it's your mother, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny you say that. First, I'm putting your website up here,
Thank
sagecoachingandcounseling.com for
Yeah.
people to get in touch with you.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you say your mother, because when I started doing this, I had compliments from people all over. Oh my God, your hair is gorgeous. I wish, except from my mother. And what was interesting is she went white at 30, which is why I started coloring my hair at 30, because she was white. And at 30 years old, 33 years ago,
Yeah.
there really was a challenge then. Truly, there was a challenge then for in the workforce. And so I thought, I'm not going to have white hair. So when I decided to grow it out, and my mother says to me, literally, she goes, "Oh, why are you doing that? Why?" And I looked at her and I said, the same reason you didn't, is you kept it beautiful because you're beautifully gorgeous. You're silver white. And that kind of shut her up, because I made a compliment. But it's interesting. I think our mothers sometimes can say some hurtful things. We'll just leave it at that.
It's almost like there's been some agreement made before we got here that says, hey, I can be this way and you're going to be able to get your road easier. And I said, guys, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at both of you. Your backgrounds, minister, rabbi, I have to say, I mean, we got all the ends. Yeah, we got all the ends, guys.
And female,
Yes.
which is very unusual for rabbi and minister. Yeah.
Very
and
unusual.
I looked at both your posts that mostly don't have anything to do with silver and what you're doing with it. Yeah. They have to do with the heart and the soul. And I honor you both.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm honored.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day as well to join us today on this launch of the book. I'm going to drop you down into the green room, but don't go away because we'll talk afterwards. All right. Okay. Now we have some, but I want to say, but wait, there's more. So I'm going to bring up onto the screen right now these beautiful images that we have. That are of the amazing, beautiful women that were in this book, and we're going to bring some of them up right now to talk about their participation in the book. But when you look at these images, I have to tell you, when I look at these images, I just say, wow, times have changed. Look at how gorgeous these women are in all of their beauty. However they've shown up, right? However they show up today, they're absolutely beautiful. I want to put the other one on solo. These are some other women as well. Just absolutely beautiful.
You know, I have to say this. There are 29 women in the book. We've got 7 of them today on the interview, but we have 29. And I have personally gotten to know each of them, some only a little, but some a lot over the last few years. And the silver lining living is alive and well in these 29 women. So today is honoring all of them.
Well, I'm really thrilled that they're here. And we're going to bring a couple of the other women up right now who I've actually had the pleasure of meeting. I'm going to bring up Colleen. Colleen is going to join us right now. I think she's hearing us. Colleen, do you? Maybe not. She's gone. All right, we're gonna hide her for a second. I'm going to bring Soledad in. Soledad, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Somar.
Carol, for
How are
inviting me.
You are beautiful. You were the first one to jump on this morning. You were rare and joined us. I want to bring your image up. And it's a big question.
What is the biggest one of all, Omar? The most important, I'll say.
About to you. So let's talk about all of these. Carol, you want to address this because there's a lot of questions here.
So actually, I chose Somar on this page because everything I met Somar in person and working with her before that and after at the event at Keys Creek Lavender Farm. Somar is so evolved. She is in her peace, she is in her beauty, and she radiates. And so this question is around, once you're starting to take a look at this silver attitude, what's it really about? And so you're putting percentages. Is it about the physical or the emotional, or what's it all about? And so I'm going to let Somar answer the way she sees it.
Thank you, Carol. And when I read the question, I thought about it, and to me, it's about 100% attitude, right? To me, it consists of spirit, body, and mind. We're all energy, and it's just like transferring energy from one place to another. It doesn't, we just have to focus on the now,
Right.
on what we're creating today, this moment, enjoying this moment, because there's no past. The future doesn't exist yet. So in order for us to live this moment and enjoy it, that will bring us a better future.
Nice.
Beautiful. And I'm going to suppose for the women out there, the silver women that are going through across the planet this lockdown, this question is an awesome one.
Yep. It was a big one. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that question, and you answer it beautifully. Somar, you can be found on Facebook, right?
Yes.
So they can. I'm going to put this. So if they look on Facebook for your name, Soledad Marcial, they will be able to find you there, friend you. You're also on Instagram. Is that the same name?
Yes, Omar.Garcia at Instagram.
Awesome. I want to thank you for joining us and telling us your story. I'm going to bring up Colleen. I think she's back in the picture here.
So
one last thing. Lean up just a little bit so we can see your shirt. She's got on her Faces of Silver shirt, which I designed in 2018. The movement.
It's really glary, but
it's beautiful.
I love it. You're beautiful. Awesome. I love it. Alrighty, we're going to drop you down, and I'm going to bring in Colleen. I think she's now here. Colleen, I can hear you. You're now in. Good to see you. How are you today?
Good to see you. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
I'm delighted that you're here. I'm going to bring your image up. I got to find your image. Here it is. If you guys only saw what I was looking at down there. So first off, what I love about this image is obvious, your hair, and it juxtaposed with the horse, because horses are your thing. And so tell us a little bit about the image here. I don't know what the question was exactly.
The image was actually, I was celebrating the sun after being in ice cold for maybe 30 days. And that particular day, it was only maybe 31 degrees, but the sun was out, and it just, it was like rebirthing after being cold.
I love it. The question that you were asked was, what Silver Sister's life do you admire and why?
Well, I actually...
It's okay to say your own, because your own is awesome.
I created my life. Yeah.
And there you go. No, I mean, that is so
powerful.
Yeah.
It was a dream of mine for many years to move to a place where I could have acreage and I could have my own horses as opposed to leasing horses back where I lived. So I planned my work. I worked my plan. Silver didn't come in until 10 years ago. When I went through another life transformation, I decided it was an important time to excavate my authentic self. So horses facilitate that. Horses facilitate that. It is very important to have a good understanding about who we are before we embark on a horse relationship.
Ah, interesting. I have a question for you because I'm just curious. How long did it take you to grow out your hair?
A long time, because it was down to my waist when I decided to stop coloring it.
Ah.
But fortunately, I am still dark underneath. So it was, you are as well. So I was only using demi. I wasn't using permanent. So it was fading on the white. So I was very fortunate to only have a minimal line of demarcation, but I pulled it back for about 2 years and I just took it off my face. And when it got down to the middle of my back and I still had 6 inches of, we called it blorange. I cut it off. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where purple shampoo comes in, right?
That's right. It comes in real handy.
So I put your website up here, TRT Horse Ranch. I'm not surprised, right?
Thank you.
Horse Ranch. For you to go check, for all of you who are viewing today, to go check out Colleen, because you should, because you absolutely should. I'm going to put some comments up here as I drop you down, Colleen, unless, Carol, you had anything else that you wanted to bring up right now before I drop Colleen down.
You know, I had the opportunity in the middle of working with the Silver Sisters, working with gathering them up, doing photo shoots, that kind of thing, the opportunity to meet Colleen on the phone. It was delightful. It was delightful because I knew already her answer was herself. Am I right? I mean,
You are.
And
I love that.
You know, you are authentically Silver. And I'm just honored. I hope I get to meet you in Sisters someday.
Yes, I would love that. And I thank you so much, Carol, for everything that you've done. I just appreciate all the work that you do, Carol.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
She's an amazing woman, as you are, Colleen.
Thanks.
I'm going to drop you into the green room. I'm going to put some comments up. Tamara Jones said, my mother always told me that my beautiful hair was my crowning glory, and she was right. More now than ever. That's beautiful.
And Tamara is in the book.
Oh, awesome. Tamara, I'm glad. Great. Okay, so that was Tamara, and that was a great response. You can find her in the book, and we're going to tell you how to get the book in just a moment. I'm going to put up some comments, though, because this is important. Susan says you are all so inspiring. Yes, you are. All of you are so inspiring. I'm going to, let's see, who else do we have here? Patricia says this is awesome. Thank you, Patricia. So you're probably wondering right now, how do we go and get the book, right? So I'm going to put a link up right onto the screen. These are called bit.lys because they're shortened links. You're going to type it exactly as this says. Unfortunately, you cannot click the screen. I will put it in the comments. Actually, I'm going to put it in the comments right now. And you can click it there. But if you just type bit.ly and then / all in caps, SBLS, Super Boomer Lifestyle Show, and then beautiful book. But I am going to put it in the comments. If you look down at the bottom, it will pop up in the comments down there. Carol, you have done a yeoman's job here. You have brought together some absolutely beautiful women in their own right, but not just beautiful on the outside. They are beautiful on the inside, and I think that's what this is all about. It's women who are stepping into their power. They're stepping into who they are. I know that a lot of I've been approached before, and people say, well, I don't want to have gray hair. I don't want to have white hair. And I go, great, don't. This is not about a movement of telling women out there to go and let your hair go white or gray. That's not what this is about. This is about us stepping into our own brilliance, our own beauty, whatever that looks like on the inside and on the outside. I'm going to put a comment up from Debbie. Love the show. These silvers are inspirational. Carol, I applaud you.
So
yes.
Debbie is on the front of the book.
Oh, well, there you go. So we had her picture up a little bit ago.
Yes.
Yeah. So any last thoughts, any last words? I want to put your website up as well, so people can go to bellrising.org. They can also find you on Instagram, and they can find you as well on Facebook.
And on Instagram, you'll see us at Branding Silver Linings a lot.
Okay, so we'll put that link as well into the comments as well. What we're telling everyone is, guys, stay in touch with these amazing women, because they have something important to say. They they're at the forefront of a movement that is definitely out there. All you have to do is type into Google silver, and an immense amount of things will pop up. And Carol, you are at the forefront. You brought these women together. Sugar said, and I know that Sugar was also in the book. So exciting to be in the world of women. Sugar, thank you so much. And Carol, Sandy says, Carol is the definition of confidence.
Aww.
So here I want to actually talk to our viewers right now. You have a choice as to where you wanted to spend your time, and you chose it to spend it with us today. And I know that all of the women that were in the show today, including those who were not, those who were in the book that are actually in the viewing area right now, you chose to spend it with us, and we are grateful for that. You've made your mark here. Go out and share this show out to all of you, the rest of your silver sisters, so that they can see that they can basically be anything and everything that they want to be. I want to thank you all for joining us today as we sign out. And for all of our viewers out there, we'll see you next time on the second episode of the Super Boomer Lifestyle Book Club. We'll see you next time.
Caren.
You're very welcome. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.